Today we are at the live meet and greet at Williams-Sonoma to meet Zach, and I'll actually be getting to kind of cook with him a little bit, which is pretty cool.
But before we start, I just kind of wanted to introduce myself to you, and just so you guys can get to know me just a little bit better. So I was actually on season 4 of MasterChef Junior. I started to cook when I was 11, which is only about 2 years ago. And I know that doesn't seem like a long time, but I've learned a lot. And today is just really my way to kind of just share my passion, and kind of I'm going to try to show you guys my homemade tomato soup with a basil oil. Let me tell you guys something. It is so delicious. I am really excited, and I hope you guys are. So let's get started. All right, so you're gonna be starting off by chopping me some tomatoes because I have a lot of chopping to do today, and I'm obviously gonna get pretty tired. There you go. So while Emily is gonna be perfectly chopping our tomatoes, I'm gonna be just dicing up our onion for our pan.
Like something like this?
Yeah, that looks awesome. Nice job, keep it up. So just continue to slice those. You're doing an amazing job, by the way.
Thank you.
And then now we're also going to be adding in our aromatics, which is going to be the key to flavoring this delicious soup. So, and those are looking really good, by the way, Emily. Thank you. So we're going to put that there. And always try to keep a clean station. How you doing, Emily? Good?
Good.
Awesome.
I hope.
No, those are good. They don't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to continue just to mince that up. And then we're almost looking good. And this is kind of what the end product looks like, and this is what you guys are going to be tasting. There we go.
Wow, that looks great.
Awesome, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys would come here and smell that, you would smell a very fresh, herbaceous flavor. So just stir that up. How are we looking on that, Emily? Good?
Yeah.
Awesome. We're going to be adding in our tomato juice with those beautiful chopped tomatoes that Emily's cutting right there. All right, so how those look? Almost done?
Yeah.
Awesome. Looking great. So, here goes. We're done? Awesome. Nice job. So now we're going to get kind of like the garnishes going, so we don't need too much. We'll just chiffonade out of that. And, yeah, sure. So chiffonade. Yeah, sure, you can do it. So chiffonading is just a fancy French term for just cutting it into ribbons. So all you would do for like any kind of herbs or something is roll it up into a bunch and just kind of slice it up like that. Oh, wow, that's fast. Just like that.
She's a baker.
And also, when I first did this, I didn't feel too comfortable because obviously I just started cooking and I didn't want to cut myself. So you can continue just to chiffonade. Why don't you go and just grab your knife, go on this cutting board, and roll out and just finish that up. Or is this fine?
Can you explain why you use 3 different types of tomatoes? You're using the tomato paste, the fresh tomatoes, and the tomato juice. How that works to make the soup better?
Yeah, so the reason why I'm doing 3 different types of tomatoes is because the tomato juice will add a very base flavor, and I didn't really want to use canned tomatoes and then puree those. Rather than you have like the juice of the can, which is tomato juice, and be a little more fresher. And lastly, you have the chopped tomatoes, which is just really nice and fresh. So that's kind of why I did that. And the tomato paste is just a little additive, just to kind of thicken up the soup a little bit.
Okay.
So these are starting to sweat up. I don't know if you guys can see this, but they're starting to get kind of brown. And then that's when you want to turn the heat up. And then now we'll be cooking out our tomato paste with all that awesome stuff. So I'm just going to grab a spatula and give this soup that I made earlier. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it's really nice and creamy. It's not too thick, but it's really kind of creamy. There we go. Alright, so I'm just sweating these up. And just give that a stir. And Emily, you can actually do this if you like.
Okay.
Where are the spoons? There we go. So just grab about a tablespoon. Not too much because we don't have too many onions. I might have made you cut too many tomatoes, so sorry about that. So now what you're going to do is, so we have our tomato paste, so come over here and just really kind of brown that up and just stir that around and keep going like that, and you should be good. And then now while that's happening, I'm just going to finish up our
This smells
garnish.
amazing.
It smells good, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a really nice sage leaf, especially a fresh sage leaf, will really kind of brighten up the whole dish. So just make sure you gotta really get on top of that. Awesome, keep doing that. So while she's doing that, there actually isn't too much more to go. So once we get our chopped tomatoes with our tomato juice in there, we're just going to be letting this guy simmer till it starts to thicken, something like this, and we start to develop that beautiful kind of rich flavor and thickness. And then we'll also be blending that just with a little bit of heavy cream. So like I said, this dish is really easy and delicious, and it's something that I make a lot. I mean, my whole family, and when I invite friends, like I said, over, they absolutely like it. So I would definitely recommend trying to do this. All right, do you mind if I take that? Yeah. 1 second. All right, that's looking great. See how we're cooking out the tomato paste? We're getting on top of it, and that's looking really good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our heat down to low, and now we'll be adding in our mixture of tomato juice, which is right there. So now this is just like your regular tomato juice, anything you can really get your hands on. So just throw that right in there. And then lastly, we'll have our chopped tomatoes, which, by the way, Emily cut beautifully, so big round of applause for her. Alright, so I'm going to just chop it a few more. And then, so now we're just going to simmer this on a very low heat. Obviously, the longer the better, but not too long so it doesn't thicken too much. Like I said, we're just going to be simmering this till it's nice and thick. So I think we're pretty much good to go. And just want to thank Emily for all her help. She was obviously awesome, guys. So big round of applause for her. And thank you so much for Bill. Thank you. It's a pleasure. All right, help me on stage and all that stuff. So once again, big round of applause for Emily, and thank you so much. Thank you. This was awesome. Get that right into there. And now we're also going to be finishing this with our heavy cream. And you guys tasted that soup, and I hope you enjoyed it, because I love the soup. And like I said, whenever I get friends over, they always eat this up. And I'm actually not too big a fan of tomato soup, but I love this.
Yeah, me neither, and I like that.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so okay, so now for our basil oil. We're gonna have our oil, and now this is actually, like I said, the one I got here. You guys can check that over there or ask one of the people from Williams-Sonoma to help you out. It's very flavorful, and it's been curing for a while, so you really get that sort of fresh basil flavor. We're gonna take our hand, it's a little hot though, so be careful. There we go. Oh, I hope you guys had a great time, because, all right, guys.
Thank all of you guys for joining us, and hopefully we can host him again. Just keep an eye on our Instagram as well as Zach's, okay?